In today's Educating Mid-Michigan segment, Craig Douglas joins us to talk about what would happen to schools and the possible impact of no state-approved budget by the end of this month. I'll quickly set the scene. So earlier this year, the Michigan Senate passed its version of the state budget for the fiscal year that starts on October 1st. However, the budget process remains incomplete as the State House passed its version. Now the two chambers got to work it out before that deadline. A lot to consider here this morning.
You nailed it, Matt. That's exactly where we're at. And let me just pile on.
Sure.
Schools by law had to adopt a budget by June 30, no later. So you have local schools and intermediate schools have adopted budgets based upon the best read of the tea leaves, if you will,
right,
of what the state approval will be. And those tea leaves still are being read without action. And so there's some apprehension at the local level.
Yeah, how does that put districts in a bit of a pickle, if you will?
Right. I've talked to some local superintendents, and I think that they're handling it the best they can. They're taking a look at all the possibilities within their own confines. Most, not all, but most districts will have cash flow to operate in the short run. What does the short run mean? Well, it's going to vary by school. It might be a week, 2 weeks, a month. It might be more than that in some cases. I would say on average it's going to be a couple months, give or take. So in the short run, probably not catastrophic, but in the long run there's going to be payroll concerns, other concerns for programming, transportation, etc. All that is a ripple effect.
There's a lot on the line.
Exactly, of all this.
Well, and we hope it doesn't come to this, but do they have to consider the possibility of there being no budget for a minute?
I think any contingency has to be on the table. Local school boards are meeting this month. I'm sure they're looking at different scenarios in terms of the what ifs, but it's going to vary by local district. Now, many districts have had communications go out to parents to make parents aware, and within their own faculty to make them aware of some possible contingencies. I'm sure with the purpose of maybe encouraging them to contact their local state senator and state representative to say, let's see if we can get something passed so we don't have anything catastrophic occur.
Well, and we have reported on some districts already making some preemptive cuts because of this situation. Has this happened before? It
has, and I think you mentioned the cuts. I think in many cases what we see are maybe delayed expenditures where there's a possible delay. Maybe some staff positions remain open until things get settled down. But it has happened in the past. I don't know exactly the number of days, but it was a few days before there was a budget passed. Let's hope it doesn't happen. We're not touching upon the federal level. The same sort of conundrum is happening at the federal level that you've already reported this morning. So the bottom line for parents and for teachers is to remain calm and remain informed.
Well, and that's your advice as well, because you were a former superintendent.
I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there. Overall, though, these things eventually work themselves out, right?
They do, and overall, I think talking with local superintendents, the start of this school year has gone very, very well. And that's good. That's good for kids, for parents, for faculty, for communities.
Yes, and we hope that trend only continues. As always, Mr. Douglas, we appreciate your insight. And if you have any education-related questions, feel free to email us. Goodmorning@abc12.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.